Goodbye, city. You never knew my name, but you learned how I walked and what time I came. You held me when I cried outside the corner store, lit my way in neon when I didn't know what for. Goodbye, city. You were loud and cruel and kind. You swallowed every version of the person I designed. I won't miss the subway noise or the blinking ATM, but I'll miss how I was growing even when I didn't see it then. The barista with the curl who learned my order by mistake. The alley full of flowers where I learned what I could take. The cracked bench by the fountain where I sat for no clear reason. The laundromat at 3 a.m. that witnessed every season. Goodbye, city. You were too much, sometimes small, but somehow in your chaos I began to hear my call. I won't miss the sirens, but I'll miss how they would fade right as I remembered that I still hadn't escaped.
I walk the path we used to take, the one with stones that likes to shake, where roots would trip our careless feet, and you'd laugh before me, light and fleet. If the bark still carves where you once traced our names in mud and haste, it's faded now but not erased, like conversation. I whispered high beneath my breath, as if good air is good as, but maybe what they give me is silence filled with what we said. The trees remember too, need to blue. Let the river hold your way, let the river hold your way, like God held it hold the land. I'm from here not to find or fix, but to sit inside the mix of loss and love and something true. The trees remember too. You wore that scarf, the one with stars. We'd rest beneath old passing cars. That road is quiet now like me, but still contains our symmetry. I found that meant we'd meet again. I tucked it deep inside my coat, a small soft weight that helps me float. I don't believe in the signs too much, but sometimes when it feels like your touch, and if that breeze just brushed my skin, then maybe this is where you've been. The trees remember too. They hum in shades of blue. They arch like hands above my frame, like guardians without a name. I don't expect the sky to bend. I just return like to a friend and let the green rebuild my view. The trees remember too. The trees remember too. They kept our quiet truth. They don't forget, they don't resent. They hold each moment we both spend. And when I leave behind a part of me, a softened mind. No need for proof or something new. The trees remember too.
You showed me things I didn't want, not fireworks but faded flame. You held up silence like a truth and called me gently by my name. You weren't bright or beautiful in the ways I thought I'd chase, but in your pause I saw myself without the filters on my face. You didn't try to fix me, didn't echo what I said. You just asked the kind of questions that stayed burning in my head. And now I see your shape in glass when I brush my teeth at night. I hated how you held a light, but now I miss that kind of sight. You were the mirror I didn't want, not funhouse, not frame gold. You just reflected back the cracks and stories I was told. And though I cursed your patience and ran before the end, you were the mirror I didn't want, but somehow you were a friend. You weren't made to love me or teach me how to stay. You were just the quiet truth that never looked away. You were the mirror I didn't want, but maybe what I need. You held up who I really am and let that version breathe. No glass can truly hold me. tucked in my sleeve. I don't know whose coat is hanging, but I still don't wanna leave. There's no photo frames with me in them, no key with my name on the ring. But I'm spinning slow in the quiet like I was meant to be in this wing. The lights are warm, the shadows dance like I've walked through here before. I touch the counter, hum a tune, trace myself into the floor. There's a record playing softly, one I used to fake I knew. But tonight I know each lyric like the past rewrote its truth. And maybe this is trespassing, or maybe it's permission to let myself belong without asking for position. I'm dancing quiet in someone else's house, in borrowed air on borrowed ground. But every step feels like a vow to take up space without the sound. I'm not stealing, I'm not loud, just being real when no one's round. Dancing quiet in someone else's house, like it's mine, at least for now. I'll leave before the morning, before someone sees my face. But I'll tuck this glow into my coat like a secret that still has grace. I never moved the furniture, never opened any door. But for these few stolen minutes, I was more me than before. I didn't knock or claim a seat, but I found my rhythm just the same. In this room where I don't belong, I whispered back my name. I'm dancing quiet in someone else's house, in borrowed air on borrowed ground. But every step feels like a vow to take up space without the sound. I'm not stealing, I'm not loud, just being real when no one's round. Dancing quiet in someone else's house, like it's mine, at least for now. I used to bring the bandages before you showed the wound. Used to guess the ending before the pain could bloom. I patched and painted silence, held my breath to keep us safe. But love that always rescues starts to feel like escape. I won't fix this, not this time. Not because I don't love you, but because I finally Not because I don't love you, but because I finally love mine. It's not hate, it's not spite, it's the cost of being right. And I won't fix this just to break again tonight. I won't fix this, not this time. Not because I don't love you, but because I finally love mine. It's not hate, it's not spite, it's the cost of being right. And I won't fix this just to break again tonight. You were never mine to keep like sand. No mail, no lights, no friend. Everyone walks a little wide, like grief inside. Kids away of spooky names, but adults play the same. But still aligned in blue, and carried when I felt alone. You were brittle, like a book I never owned, but still underlined in blue, and carried when I felt alone. You weren't mine, not really, but you filled a space I missed. Borrowed love still feels like this. The house nobody talks about holds stories in the cracks. And maybe what we don't discuss is just what always comes back. It's not haunted by a ghost, but by silence, thick and proud. It's the house nobody talks about. I kept a leaf from that October, pressed flat inside a book. The spine's a little broken, but I never cared how it looked. You gave it to me laughing, said it matched the way I breathe. I didn't know a moment could fold itself in me. Now I keep it in my jacket, that one with the broken stitch. And every time I feel it, it scratches just a bit. Like, hey, remember softness, like don't outgrow the gold. It's fragile like a memory, but it's something I still hold. You're my back pocket autumn, rust red and barely there, tucked between the bus lost 100 seasons to screens and subway lines, but that one leaf keeps whispering that I was real that time. You're my back pocket autumn, my quiet rusted friend, and maybe we're not talking, but this part doesn't end. A faded note, a weightless thing still echoing somehow. You're my back pocket autumn, and you're with me even now. You're my back pocket autumn, rust red and barely there, tucked between the bus rides and the wind that lifts my hair. Not loud, not lingering, but always close somehow. You're my back pocket autumn, and I carry you right now. We were a box left outside in the rain, full of letters, dreams, and songs, held together with some tape and hope, but the forecast proved us wrong. I remember stacking promises like books we meant to read. Now the ink is smudged, the corners sag from things we didn't need. Someday soon find shelter from the sky, but other plans and passing time let the storms go drifting by. We thought love meant waiting out whatever tried to soak, but even sturdy cardboard hearts eventually go broke. We were a box left outside in the rain, and it wasn't anyone's fault. No sudden tear, no just slow dissolving salt. We held what mattered once, but nothing stayed the same. We were a box left outside in the rain. And I still think of what we were when the clouds are feeling kind. But even if the sun comes out, we've warped beyond rewind. We were a box left outside in the rain, and now I walk away with pages half remembered and a heart too soft to say. It wasn't failure, just decay, the way old stories fade. We were a box left outside in the rain. I knit a scarf that looks like you. It's crooked at the ends, one side's longer than the other, but it loops around like friends. I use the yarn you teased me for, that weird uneven blue, but somehow in the knots and loops it slowly became you. I dropped a stitch in early rows, left flaws I didn't fix, but everyone reminds me that warmth is in the mix. It's not a perfect pattern, no YouTube guide or chart, just the rhythm of my fingers and the shape you left in heart. I knit a scarf that looks like you, not in color but in feel, a little messy, but this yarn remembers laughter and the twitching of your hand. I knit a scarf that looks like you, threaded in my chest. You're not around, but somehow still I'm layered in your rest. Not words, not songs, not stories could say what stitches do. I knit a scarf that looks like love, and it still looks like you. You always show up late, like the moon behind the fog, smiling like you never left, and I forget you're gone. We walk down glowing streets that don't exist at all, and you hum that old melody that still softens every wall. I only meet you in dreams, but it feels more real than day. Like time forgot to wake us and chose to float away. You never change, you never fade. You still wear blue and say my name. I only meet you in dreams, but I wish that stayed the same. I wake with words half spoken and the scent of something warm, but you slip before I thank you for the peace inside your storm. I don't believe in ghosts, but something always stays. Your voice, your laugh, that crooked tooth that shows up anyway. I only meet you in dreams, but it feels more real than day. Like time forgot to wake us and chose to float away. You never change, you never fade. You still wear blue and say my name. I only meet you in dreams, but I wish that stayed the same. Pack my books in rows of two, t-shirts I barely ever wore, the plant that leaned too far from sun, the keychain from that thrifted store. Found a note you wrote on scrap, tucked in my old desk drawer. Don't forget to buy more tea, but that's not what it was for. I boxed the mug that cracked last June, the scarf you gave still smelling sweet, a photo frame with us cropped out somehow made that memory complete. I labeled things like 기다려요. She plays piano out of tune every Sunday afternoon. I hear her sing in different keys to no one, or maybe just to me. She drops her keys at 7:02, never speaks when passing through, but she hums as the kettle starts, like she's warming up her heart. The girl in apartment 3B feels like a song I almost see, like a page I read too fast, like a feeling I forgot to ask. We've never met, not really, but somehow she's familiar to me. The girl in apartment 3B. She laughs loud at midnight shows. I learn her life in undertones. Her light blinks twice then fades, like she's writing a secret play. Sometimes I tap back on the wall, just one beat, barely at all. And when I pause and strain to hear, she taps once back. The girl in apartment 3B feels like a song I almost see, like a page I read too fast, like a feeling I forgot to ask. We've never met, not really, but somehow she's familiar to me. The girl in apartment 3B. My shoes are in the same place, coat still on the same hook. The tea went cold beside me, and I didn't open the book. I thought I'd do something today, but I just made the bed. Didn't fix the spiral, but I didn't let it spread. Still here, still me. Didn't bloom, didn't break, didn't chase, didn't flee. I didn't change the sky, but I let the silence be. And sometimes that's enough. Still here, still me. I watch the light move just the slow ghost of growing pains, wearing both our names. We don't talk like we used to, but sometimes I still see you in songs I skip in late night tea and jokes that only worked with we. It's not a grudge, not even pain, just a quiet little rain. We don't talk like we used to, but I still think of you. I saw your dog on someone's page. She's older now and so are we. I gauge the bar we used to haunt is gone. Guess even ghosts move on. You said once not a love is loud, some just drifts like thinning cloud. And I thought I understood, but maybe now I really could. We don't talk like we used to, but sometimes I still see you in songs I skip in late night tea and jokes that only worked with we. It's not a grudge, not even pain, just a quiet little rain. We don't talk like we used to, but I still think of you. We don't talk like we used to, but that doesn't make it untrue. I love the version we both were, and I wish them both the world of Welcome to the midnight station, where the lights are low and real, where no one's watching what you say, so you say just what you feel. I found it flipping dials between the silence and the buzz, a voice like someone thinking out loud about a version that once was. And I didn't call, I didn't write, but I kept tuning in each night, because somehow what they softly said felt like the thoughts inside my head. Midnight station, far away but clear, like someone meant to stay. You don't know me, I don't know you, but we're the same shade of blue. And maybe that's enough to be a lighthouse on a static sea. to the tea you like is getting old. I still set 2 cups on the shelf just to trick myself from cold. The doormat hasn't moved at all, your coat's still by the chair. I know you're not returning, but I leave it there. Some days I light a candle like you taught me how to do, and whisper things into the wax that only sound like you. It's not about denial or refusing to let go. It's just my way of saying I remember in the glow. I left the light on anyway, even when I knew you weren't coming back. Like the stars ignore the blue. Maybe it's a ritual, maybe I'm just slow. But I left the light on anyway, and somehow it still shows. And if by chance you ever turn this corner in your mind, know the porch is lit with silence, and the key's not hard to find. I left the light on anyway, not to guide you home, but to honor the soft presence that still walks here alone. It's not about expecting just a way to let you stay. So I left the light on anyway, in case love finds its way. I told you jokes instead of fears. I changed the subject when you leaned. I swallow questions like they burned and called it being clean. I wrote you letters in my head, signed them all but never sent. I rehearsed 1,000 closings that still live in my chest rent-free. I smiled when I wanted more, bit my tongue when I meant no. I let the silence do the talking because I was scared to show that you mattered more than morning, more than songs or space or pride. But I played it soft, too subtle, until you slipped outside. These are things I never said out loud, but whispered in the dark, traced into the shower steam, sung softly in the park. If I could mail you moments, I'd fold these into air. But these things I never said out loud might not belong out there. I almost said it twice when your hand brushed mine in June, but I turned it to a thank you and lost my one good tune. These are things I never said out loud, and maybe that's okay. But if you feel them quietly, then maybe they still stay. They live in every silence that I didn't quite break through. The things I never said out loud were always meant for you. Punch bowls half melted, the couch still smells like wine. I'll clean the plates and dim the lamp and quietly miss you. Not the crowd, not the sound, just the version I became when everyone was here and I remembered my own name. I never wrote a novel, never climbed a famous hill, didn't paint the sky in fireworks or hold the world still. But I lived in every Tuesday and the corner seat at 4. The way the sun hit grocery carts, the sound of keys on your floor. I never made the headlines, never broke a rule to win. But I stayed up past the silence and let a quiet day begin. I loved without announcement, I failed and made it art. I learned that small is holy and soft can hold a heart. I lived in 1,000 little moments, not loud but deeply wide. In traffic lights, in cat cafes, in hands I didn't hide. I won't have a statue, but I'll have this truth instead. I lived in 1,000 little moments, and that's a life well said. I lived in 1,000 little moments with no script, no grand parade. But I saw the moon in puddles and kissed like time could fade. You won't read my name in marble, but I'm not afraid of death. I lived in 1,000 little moments, and I gave them all my breath. You said I used to call more, said my voice has gotten low, that I don't fill the room like I did years ago. You said I wear more earth tones, that I don't rant as much online, that I answer in half sentences instead of every time. You've changed, you said, like it's some kind of crime, like softening surrender or healing isn't mine. But maybe I let go of versions built in fear, and maybe that's the bravest I've been in all these years. I still dance in the kitchen, still write letters I don't send. I still cry at the same films, I just don't pretend. So yeah, I've changed like rivers always do, still water different shape. to. You've changed, you said, like it's some kind of crime, like softening surrender or healing isn't mine. But maybe I let go of versions built in fear, and maybe that's the bravest I've been in all these years. You've changed, you said, like it's some kind of crime, like softening surrender or healing isn't mine. But maybe I let go of versions built in fear, and maybe that's the bravest I've been in all these years. Chopped a carrot like a spell, threw in garlic just for smell. Let the broth slow boil, let the air feel soft. Put my phone on airplane like the world was off. Soup for one, but not alone. I made this space, I made this home. No loud voices, no silver plan, just steam and peace in a one-hand pan. Soup for one, but that's still love from me. Enough. Wash the dish with care, played a song I used to skip, lit a tiny candle, let it drip and drip. No celebration, no guest to bring, but I toasted to the quiet, and it meant everything. Soup for one, but not alone. I made this space, I made this home. No loud voices, no silver plan, just steam and peace in a one-hand pan. Soup for one, but that's still love from me. Enough. Soup for one, but not alone. I made this space, I made this home. No loud voices, no silver plan, just steam and peace in a one-hand pan. Soup for one, but not alone. I made this space, I made this home. No loud voices, no silver plan, just steam and peace in a one-hand pan. Soup for one, but that's still love from me. Enough.
You're sitting
On the sofa, I'm pretending not to stare. We're 3 feet apart, but it feels like air. You scroll like it's a language I forgot how to speak. We've got the same coffee, but 1,000 different weeks. 3 feet apart, and galaxies wide. I miss you from the hallway, I miss your laugh, your eyes. We didn't fight, we didn't end, we just slowly unbegan. 3 feet apart, still pretending we can. You asked about the weather, I said fine, you said cool, and silence filled the corner like a whisper in a pool. We still brush hands sometimes, still share the fridge, the light, but nothing echoes anymore. stars at night, 3 feet apart and galaxies wide. I miss you from the hallway, I miss your laugh, your eyes. We didn't fight, we didn't end, we just slowly unbegan. 3 feet apart, still pretending we can. I miss you from the hallway, I miss your laugh, your eyes. We didn't fight, we didn't end, we just slowly unbegan. 3 feet apart, still pretending we can. Still pretending we can. My bags are by the doorway, but my socks are still inside. I made coffee out of habit, but I haven't really tried. There's a plane that leaves at midnight, and a song still in this room. I'm somewhere in the hallway, between goodbye and gloom. You asked if I was leaving, I said yeah, but not just yet. I held the door but didn't move, still tangled in regret. The air is full of maybe, my breath won't choose a side. I'm halfway to a sentence that I've never really tried. Somewhere between staying and going, where the floor still feels unsure. I'm packing up my courage, but I'm folding fear in more. It's not love, it's not escape, it's a map with no terrain. I'm somewhere between staying and going, and both directions rain. Maybe I don't need an answer, just a place to start again. Somewhere between staying and going is where I meet myself tonight. I'm not lost, just softly shifting in the pull of wrong and right. You won't see a final postcard, but you'll feel the space I made. Somewhere between staying and going is where I learned to stay. I never wrote a novel, never climbed a famous hill, didn't paint the sky in fireworks or hold the world still. But I lived in every Tuesday and the corner seat at 4, the way the sun hit grocery carts, the sound of keys on your floor. I never made the headlines, never broke a rule to win, but I stayed up past the silence and let a quiet day begin. I loved without announcement, I failed and made it art. I learned that small is holy and soft can hold a heart. I lived in 1,000 little moments, not loud but deeply wide. mug with the chip in it, still on my shelf, still pouring warmth. It's never been the prettiest, but it's seen the start of every morn. I've dropped it twice, maybe three, but somehow it survives. Held cinnamon, confession, and too many late goodbyes. I bought it when I first moved in, before I knew the neighbors' names, before the nights grew quiet and all the echoes started to change. It doesn't match the newer plates or the polish that I fake, but when my hands are shaking, it's the one I always take. It's just a chipped old mug, but it feels like home to me. Doesn't try to be impressive, just sits there patiently. I've held it when I'm crying, when I laughed until I bent. It's just a chipped old mug, but it's where my peace went. I've tried replacing comfort with new things that shine and sell, but nothing holds a moment like the one that knows me well. I've seen your name in tea bags, heard your ghost in boiling sound, and though the world keeps speeding, this mug slows me down. It's just a chipped old mug, but it's more than pottery. It holds the parts of me I drop when I'm too tired to be. No lessons in its handle, no message stamped below. It's just a chipped old mug, but somehow it still knows. Maybe love is not perfection. Maybe love just stays and bends. Maybe love is chipped and fragile, but it's what you trust again. It's just a chipped old mug.